I would like to thank Reverend Roger Hall for his hospitality and for allowing us to use this fantastic historic venue for tonight's event. And I would also like to thank Tradecraft, who've kindly paid for our drinks this evening. A big thank you to them. I'm delighted to see so many of you here. We've got a real combination of guests, including individual supporters, representatives of the business community, trustees of foundations, and members of the wealth management community. Some of you have already partnered with us and given very generously to our work. For others, you're getting to know more about poverty and about Christian Aid's work to eradicate it. Thank you all for coming. I hope tonight helps build upon our common interest in how to create a fairer world. I'd like to tell you this evening a little bit about why I joined Christian Aid and share our vision of a world without poverty. Today, over 1 billion people live in extreme poverty. Tonight, nearly 1 billion people will go to bed hungry. Among the bottom billion, the average life expectancy is just 47. How many of us in this room are 47 or over? That would be time up for us. Among the bottom billion, 14% of children do not live to see their 4th birthday. But the truth is that there are enough resources in the world to go round if we want to make them go round. And that fuels our passionate belief that the world can and must be changed so that poverty is ended. Everything we do is about ending poverty and injustice swiftly, effectively, forever. One agency cannot go it alone, and that's why our future and the future of the poor depends on you. As some of you know, running Christian Aid has involved a complete life change for me. In my last role, just half a mile from here, I ran the Financial Services Compensation Scheme, which has paid out over £21 billion to protect victims of financial failure. And it was, as you can imagine, pretty full on during the banking crisis. I want to tell you about one Saturday morning, the 27th of September 2008. I was travelling on a train down to Portsmouth. I was nearly at the beloved Fratton Park, home of the best football team in the world. It's not recognised by everybody. I was going down on a very sad journey to visit my aunt. I'd had a call from my mum and she said, it's time to come down. It looks like she's slipping away. And I got a call on the train. As the chief executive of the FSCS, would I come straight back to the Treasury? Would I go to the Treasury immediately? Bradford and Bingley was going bust. We needed to find a way of safeguarding ordinary depositors in the next 36 hours, as it would not be able to open on Monday morning. I was told I would need to borrow about £14 billion, and that my first job at the Treasury later in the day would be to negotiate the terms of the loan. I went first to see my dying aunt, because you have to get your priorities right sometimes. But then, of course, I went straight back to London. I negotiated the loan, and working with the board, paid for over 3 million account holders to be transferred to Abbey Santander on the Monday morning, and so helped stave off a collapse in confidence in the financial system. The job of the FSCS is a job that needed to be done. It needed to be done well, and it still does. But by September 2008, I knew I couldn't do it for too much longer. Because early in 2008, my brother had died unexpectedly, aged only 54. He left a wonderful legacy of films like Truly, Madly, Deeply, The English Patient, Cold Mountain. But his death reminded me and my family that life can be very short, and it made me think I want to make sure I'm doing everything I can to make the very best use of the energies and experience that I have while I can. I knew that the ideal job would be running a charity whose cause I really cared about, and I hoped that I might be able to bring my Christian faith into the middle of my work. Seeing this role advertised, it seemed like the ideal role. And having been in the job for 7 months now, I still feel like the luckiest woman in the world. Why am I so proud to be part of the Christian Aid team? Let me give you 3 reasons. First and foremost, because we're fixed on the right goal, the end of poverty. Yes, we organise brilliant humanitarian emergency relief work in places like Haiti and Pakistan. We do great malaria eradication work in Africa. But our vision is not about relieving symptoms. It's so much deeper than that. It's about using our expertise and our ongoing experience in development and advocacy to tackle the structures that keep people poor to ensure an end to poverty. We never want to feel comfortable about it. We don't want to adjust to it. We won't stop until it's finally eradicated. The second reason why I'm so proud to lead Christian Aid lies in a deep admiration for our business model in the field, which relies on deep partnership with local people on the ground. We don't have thousands of staff descending from Britain and Ireland to distribute largesse. We partner with local organisations on the ground, and we accompany citizens of poor countries to find and implement their own solutions. Wherever I've been to see our work in the field, I'm impressed by the depth of partnership, the way all our partners comment on it, both as brilliant and highly distinctive. Deep partnership brings sustainable change, and that brings value for money, which is understandably a concern for many of our donors, as it is for us. The third reason is the passion, dedication, and expertise of the people who surround me in my work. Staff, volunteers, and supporters, all determined to make the world much fairer. People who could be spending their time differently, earning more money elsewhere, or keeping more of their money to themselves. The job is certainly difficult. We work for the poorest of the poor in over 40 countries. When you see the poverty that I've seen in the last few months, in Kenya, in India, in Gaza and the West Bank, when you sat with a woman, as I did, in a slum outside Nairobi, a woman who was wondering how she was going to find the money to bury her own father, dying of cancer next to her. It's not easy to come back to the comfort of London and keep going as though your life hasn't changed. But what lifts us is the knowledge that we can and do already make a real difference, and that inspired by our supporters and working together, we can do so much more. So what is my vision for the future of Christian Aid? Fundamentally, I'm committed to deepening its impact on poverty. And that doesn't mean wholesale change, because Christian Aid is essentially a really strong organisation already. But it does mean ensuring Christian Aid continues to strive to move from good to great in everything that it does. We've just started a process internally to come up with the detail of our new strategy for 2012 onwards, and so that's a work in progress. But I can say that some of the ingredients will include better business with business, working more proactively in partnership with the private sector to harness the positive energy of many businesses to develop in a fair and sustainable way and to be forces for good. It will involve brokerage, using our international reach to share ideas, bring people together in new ways, form and deepen alliances and partnerships that redefine the landscape of development and make it more effective. It will include more bright ideas, focusing on innovation. We want to continue to pilot enterprising new ideas that we think that could be taken to scale. We have a saying in Christian Aid, no small change. A recent example of productive new thinking, which involves business, brokerage, and bright ideas, is our sponsoring of the prize for the Ashton Awards earlier this year. The Ashton Awards celebrate excellence in the development of sustainable energy products. And the winner of the Christian Aid Award for Sustainable Energy Development in India went to D-Light, a solar lamp company operating there. You may have heard about D-Light's lamps if you're a fan of Neil McGregor's History of the World in 100 Objects. He chose such a lamp as the 100th object to close the series. D-Light products, and that, by the way, there is a D-Light lamp, if those of you can see it. This thing here, rather marvellous invention. D-Light products are helping people work longer days in the fields when they would otherwise have to stop harvesting because of the dark. Solar lamps help children to do their homework in homes that can't afford kerosene. They reduce dependence on expensive, dangerous and unhealthy kerosene lamps where they're used currently, and they give people a source of lighting which is not only much cheaper, but also, obviously, much more climate friendly. Through different partners in Africa and India, we're making these solar lamps more widely available, ensuring microfinance is accessible for those who would otherwise find the $20 investment a prohibitive startup cost. And we're finding ways of linking them with small business opportunities and also community healthcare in rural areas as well, maximising the benefits of everything we do for the people we're here to serve. To find out more about our innovative and life-changing work, we've set up some information desks at the back to highlight some of our key focus areas, and I encourage you all to visit the desks and talk to our partners and to Christian Aid staff here tonight. We'd like to get your feedback about this evening, and I hope you'll continue or contemplate a partnership with us and the world's poor. Colleagues will be in touch with you to discuss the current partnering opportunities in more detail. I told you that story just now about the collapse of Bradford and Bingley because it comes back to me often. When people think a problem is really important and really urgent, mountains can be moved. In that case, £14 billion worth of mountains. I would like to think too that the gnawing hunger of 1 billion people, the untimely deaths of millions of children every year, the 350,000 preventable deaths each year through maternal mortality in poor countries, that these problems are really important and really urgent to address. And that where there is a will, there will also be a way. You can help grow that will, you can demonstrate it, and you can urge others to do the same. My closing message to you tonight is this: the only way we will end poverty is together. Our future and the future of the poor depends on everyone finding their role and playing their part. In short, it depends on each one of us. Thank you so much for coming and for your continued and committed support. Thank you.